Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back. It's your boy Ash. This is gonna be a little bit of a different video, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do my thumbnails. I've been getting a lot of questions on how I actually do my thumbnails recently because they're a little better than what they used to be. So I'm gonna give you guys my little step-by-step on how I do my little Ghost of Tabor thumbnails and pretty much all my thumbnails now at this point, and to make your channels of your own start skyrocketing. But without further ado, boys, grab your favorite drink, favorite snack, and let's get to making. So there's actually a couple things for my thumbnails that I'm actually gonna have to get real quick before we actually start and actually making the thumbnail. Those things are gonna be the actual weapon and items from the game that I'm gonna be having featured in the thumbnail, background, and the theme of the thumbnail, obviously. So what I've actually just done is I've actually just went into Ghost of Tabor and I've gone into a training raid because my thumbnail that I want to actually be making in this video is actually a one for a keycard stream. So now what I like to do is when I find a good spot that I think is going to be good for a thumbnail, I just press if it goes. So right here I found a good spot for my thumbnail. So I'm just going to take Windows Shift S and I'm just going to drag the area of what I want to capture, which is just going to be, I want to get the key cards and the gun. I want to get the key cards and the gun included in this picture. So if we go to screenshots, we go all the way down here, we now have a screenshot of the gun, of the safe container with my key cards. So now obviously when you have these kind of screenshots, the background is most of the time not even the background that they normally actually have. So what we're going to actually look up real quick is background remover. This is going to be a free background remover provided by Adobe that you can use to remove the background of whatever screenshot that you have. So let's go all the way here. I'm going to go to the screenshot that we just took, but I use this pretty much every single time. It's going to work out perfectly fine. There might be a couple times where it's like a little bit janky. Look at that. So it perfectly cut out everything in the background, perfectly cut out that hill from Island, especially around the key card here. It even actually did the trigger finger. I'm very surprised that it did that. So we're actually going to be downloading that and it's going to be saved to my my files. So now a big part of this is actually going to be the background of the thumbnail that we're going to use. So I like to do, especially take from a person called ArtStation. They take really good screenshots from the game and they kind of amplify it for thumbnails. So let's see, I'm going to find one that I've really never used before. And what you can actually do is even go to the official website where you can even find even better thumbnails. So here we got one of Matkamies. Looks really nice, and you know what, I like this one. I do some Matkamies ones in some of my thumbnails, but this one specifically, I might even go for some of these other ones. Some of these other ones are pretty nice, but I might even do like one of those ones. I want something that's very vibrant, you know. I want to get something vibrant for people clicking on the video. But you know what, I like this one. This one's really nice. So we're gonna right click on this, we're gonna save image, and I'm just gonna do Matkamies 2, and here we are. This is Photopea. It is literally just Adobe Express and editing app, but it's literally just pretty much copy paste, but it is free. I'll leave a link in the description of where to actually go to Photopea. But right here I'm going to show you guys pretty much the step-by-step of how I actually do the thumbnails. So we're just going to click on new project, and you're going to see right here it's going to already have a template for YouTube thumbnails. So we're going to double click that, and then I understand it's gonna look a little intimidating at first, but just bear with me. Especially for Ghost of Tabor thumbnails, they're really not hard at all. So what you actually want to do is you want to open File Explorer and you want to find those screenshots and those cutouts that we just took. So let's go to thumbnails. So the first one I do always like to put down is the city or whatever background that we had. So obviously we took down the Matkamies one, if I can find it. So yeah, I already have all of this go straight to my thumbnails drive, or my thumbnails folder, where I have everything, all my templates and my cutouts and everything. So you're just gonna take the picture of whatever background you're gonna use and you're gonna drag and drop it. You're gonna have to do some adjustments because it's gonna be most likely not in the right aspect ratio that you're going to want it to be, especially for the YouTube thumbnail. But that's pretty much it. So what I do also like to do before you even continue is you're going to go up here and you're going to go to filter. You're going to click filter and you're going to actually go to camera raw. This is how you can actually make the image kind of pop more. So I don't know, let's just see what we got. So we definitely want to add some saturation. Saturation is like the big thing with thumbnails. So So we're gonna add a little bit of saturation, not nothing crazy, but we definitely want to make it a little more poppy. Yeah, we're gonna bring blacks down a little bit. We're probably gonna bring up the whites a little bit. Yep, let's bring up the whites a little bit. And then texture and clarity is something that I really like to mess with, especially when it comes to actually the weapon part. This is only the background, so we don't really have to do anything crazy. Textures, I like to just crank it all the way up. Clarity, especially on this one, especially with all the trees, we don't really want to mess with, so we're actually gonna keep that good. And honestly, that's gonna be it. So you're just gonna hit OK, and now that's gonna be the background, and let's move on to the second one. So you see, I got my files open over here, and we're gonna go ahead and find the cutout that we just took. And so if you do the exact same way I did, it's not gonna go straight into a custom folder if you already have stuff for a custom folder for like your thumbnails and all that. It's just gonna be a download. It's gonna be called Adobe Express file. We are going to drag and drop it into here, and then as you can see, it's already looking kind of like it goes to the board thumbnail, but we obviously need to edit a little bit because right now it's looking pretty dull. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go to filter, we're going to go to camera raw, and we're going to mess with it a little bit. We're going to definitely bring the whites up. The whites for these kind of things, you really want to crank all the way up because that's going to make your gun pop out a little bit more. Clarity, you want to bring all the way up. Texture, you want to bring all the way up. And I think that's actually going to be it for most of it, for the most part. Saturation, you really don't want to mess with. Vibrance, I think. Yeah, vibrance look good. Tint, we don't want to mess with. Temperature, we don't want to mess with. I don't think we want to mess with this at all. Yeah, bring out the blacks a little bit more too. Not a crazy much as you just did with the whites, but bring it to about 15, 16. We'll just go right there. We'll go at 15. We're actually gonna bring that down a little bit. Now already you can see it's just popping a lot more. The gun is popping a lot more. So we're gonna go back on here and we are going to adjust it a little bit. It's gonna do this weird little effect where it looks like it's not being edited anymore. It's okay. Your gun's still being edited with the same little filter that you just put. And then obviously we want to adjust it as we please a little bit, just to especially the bottom. If you look on the bottom, you really want that no like weird little edges popping, especially with your gun. Okay, so I did tune it a little bit. I'm just bringing the whites a little down because especially for the background, I realized it's not really, we really don't want it popping as much as it was. We're gonna bring it down to around 56, and that honestly looks very good. That actually looks very, very good. So now we're gonna do the big thing that a lot of people actually don't really know how to do, and that's gonna be that text that you see at the top that actually kind of blends behind the gun but also is in front of the background. Let me show you how to do that. And just a quick note, guys, if for some reason you start having troubles with how to select certain aspects and certain parts of your thumbnail, you can either just click in the little box down here, each individual thing, or you can actually go up to edit, and it's going to go down to free transform, and then that's how you can, you know, custom select which thing you want to try to mess with and all that stuff. But now we're going to do the fun part, which is the text. So what you want to do is you're going to go to this little bunch of stuff on the left side. You're going to go all the way down to this little T, and it's going to be the type tool. Click that, and before you do anything, if you want the exact same font that I use, you're going to go in the top left where this little button is, and you're going to go up there and you're going to click Distant Galaxy. This is the one that I use for all my thumbnails, goes to Tabor related. So now to put the text on, you're going to want to click, make sure that's clicked, and then you're just going to want to click on the screen. Now the second you started clicking, this is when you need to start typing. So I'm just going to title this keycard runs, exclamation point, blah 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 blah. There we go. So now we have at least our text, but I kind of really don't want it in black. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to go over to where it says text layer 3. We're going to right click it, and at the very top you're going to see blending options. We're going to go ahead and actually click on that, and it's going to bring up this little box. This is how you're going to really make a bunch of your stuff in your actual thumbnail start popping, whether that's little drop shadows, whether that's going to be the inner strokes, whatever you want on it. This is how you're going to do it. So the first thing we're going to actually want to do is I want to go ahead and actually change the color of the text. So we're going to go all the way down to color overlay. We're going to click that, make sure it's checked off, and then this little box right here, we're going to click that, scroll it all the way over to white, and press OK. And as you can see now, from the text right there, it is a white text. But you might be thinking, Ash, there's a lot of white on the sky. How is that going to make sense? That's where we're going to even do a little bit more of some touches. We're going to go over to stroke, and we're going to click on that. This is really how the text starts popping. We're going to add a stroke, And we are also going to add a drop shadow. Drop shadow I always like messing with, especially on stuff like this. We're going to put it about right there, and we're going to click OK. And then we're going to go to edit, free transform, and we are going to super bring this up. And as you can see, it's already behind my weapon. It's already behind my weapon. If it isn't for some reason, over here, under all the stuff that you've been adding throughout the thumbnail making process, you can adjust it, bring it over, because see, now it's over the gun. And you'll actually take the text, bring it under the gun, and see now it's actually under the front iron sight, but it's also right there perfectly able to read. I'm going to show you one more thing that I do always like to put on my thumbnails, and that's going to be a little tag of the channel in the bottom right. So I do have one already cropped out. It's going to be my title card cropped. I throw it right here, make that a little smaller, put it in the bottom corner, and just like that, guys, there you are. You have a thumbnail ready. I am actually going to be using this one even later today. There you have it, guys. That's how I make my thumbnails for Ghost of Tabor and just any and all games in general. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns of how I actually still do this stuff, and even any ideas of just how to use Photopea in general, just leave a DM to me from our Discord channel. I am going to have a link to the server in the description below. That's going to do it, guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.